Using boundaries in your relationship. Watch out. Should you put your foot down in your relationship or should you try to be more flexible? We all make boundaries in relationships and they often work out well. We know that we can accept and will tolerate from our partners or friends. Boundaries are self-protection and can stop us from getting hurt. However, sometimes boundaries can cause misunderstandings and breakups. What are your personal boundaries and how are they working in your relationship? How about your partner's boundaries? Can you live with them? Are your boundaries in harmony with each other? Relationship boundaries vary dramatically from person to person and can be big or small. Example of big boundaries would you accept a friend or partner who is having an affair, abuses you, uses illicit drugs on a regular basis, hurts your children or your pets. The big boundaries are what you might not tolerate and cause your relationship to end. Then there are smaller boundaries, such as places you prefer they not go, you don't approve of other friends, actions you want them to do daily, foods you prefer they eat or not eat. Again, the smaller boundaries are to protect you, but are fear-based. You fear that your partner does not step over the small boundaries, it will lead to your bigger boundaries failing. Not only do you have to set your boundaries, so does your partner or your friend. Unfortunately, they may not all mesh with yours. Some you may have to set mutually, but the rest are based on each of your fears. The conflict of boundaries not meshing usually falls within the smaller, more personal boundaries. It often leads to relationships failing. Your partner may feel like you are trying to control them and feel like you are acting like a control freak. Perhaps they have already broken off a previous relationship for that very reason. Perhaps they are thinking of ending their relationship. Many people do not like to feel controlled by others. An important thing to remember is that it is okay to be somewhat flexible with smaller boundaries, as long as they do not develop into larger ones. If your partner wants to do something that may feel scary to you, but falls within your small boundaries, now is the time to talk about it. Talk with them before you put your foot down. Try to listen and understand why they want you to do it. More importantly, assess how you will feel if it happens. Do you trust them enough? Are they trustworthy? Have they broken your trust in the past? How long ago was your trust broken? Days? Then maybe it will be broken again. Years? And perhaps it's time to trust again. So, legal boundaries. When a person hears the term legal boundary, often what comes to mind are property lines, invisible lines that separate property. However, legal boundaries are about more than just property. They are about legal restrictions that affect our lives, some even daily. When you are walking or driving somewhere, do you stop at a red light? There is a legal boundary that says you cannot go through a red light or we risk the consequence of paying a ticket or even getting into an accident. Not all legal boundaries are created fair and equal. For tips on how to challenge laws you do not feel are right, there's actually a self-advocacy workbook and advocacy manual that goes with this. I actually like this enough, I might actually look for the self-advocacy manual. Since different countries, prominent cities, and communities have their own set of legal boundaries, it is important to know where to find the laws that affect you. The best way to know your rights is to do your research. List keywords to help you look up information about the topic. Go to an encyclopedia, internet, or other resources to get an overview of the topic. Brainstorm questions about topics in your own group. Group questions with similar headings, make a list of possible sources that you can answer. So this is just giving you some ideas on where you can find your laws, find out what the legal boundaries really are. I would just go look up, like I live in Maine, I would just go to Google and type in Maine laws. But anyway, thanks for watching.